How we doing, guys? Welcome to DT's Daily. That's right. How we doing, guys? And welcome to DT's Daily. We are back for a new season. We have studio settings and we are ready to go. The Premier League season starts next week. It actually starts this weekend if you're going to include the Community Shield. Of course, it is Arsenal against Manchester City. And I am so excited about the new season. And it's not just because Arsenal went and beat Barcelona and all of a sudden we're going to win the treble. It's because there is that feel-good factor around the club. Now, this show, what do we get up to? I think all of you know we talk about what's going on in the world of football. Isn't just Arsenal and transfers and ingoings, outgoings, etc. It's about what's going on everywhere else. Now, before I do get into the show, what can you expect over the course of the season? Well, we're going to be bringing back podcasts, and I have a brand new podcast for every single one of you, and I will be getting people involved from other clubs. We're going to be doing previews to games. We're going to be doing watch-alongs. We're going to be doing fan cams from outside the stadium for selected games. The Manchester City game, of course, like I said, was coming up this weekend. And we will be doing a preview of that. We will also be doing the predicted lineup. We will also be doing a combined 11 for this game. And that, of course, always brings debate and questions as to whether someone's right or whether they're wrong. And you know how it always goes with football. And then we're going to be doing, the reviews of the game straight after as well. So there's so much to look forward to. Taking the time over the summer to think, to, go through the process and see what we want to do. And this is what we are going to do moving forward. And of course, over the next week or so as well, there will be a preview to the whole season where I will be talking about every single team and where I feel they will finish in the Premier League. So with that said, let's go and get into the show. And the first place we are going to start is Arsenal. Because very surprisingly, and I think this one did kind of come out of the blue, we have done a lot of our business already. Kai Havertz, Declan Rice and Jurriën Timber already signed, sealed, done. And it's so unusual as an Arsenal fan sitting here and saying we've done our business before the season starts. Normally it's a panic and normally we're all over the place. But reports coming out yesterday, and it was David Ornstein that first went and brought this one out. So it was a very reliable source, shall we say. But the Arsenal are in talks, and it's advanced with David Raya from Brentford, the goalkeeper. And I know that will come as a shock to some, but not to others. And it's an interesting one because Aaron Ramsdale, like before he joined Arsenal, I didn't want him at Arsenal. I was like, no, absolutely not. No chance whatsoever. And then he came in and he shut me up. He's done some unbelievable things for us as a club. But last season, there were some moments, and don't get me wrong, there were some other moments that were unreal. He kept us in games. But there were other moments where you look at and think, could that have been the difference between winning the league and not winning the league? That might sound a little ruthless and a little harsh, but when you play as a goalkeeper, that is a position where you're always going to, get exposed and found out if you make a mistake. If you're a striker and you miss a chance, then you've got other moments to get that chance and, win the game. As a goalkeeper, you make a mistake, that could be it. And if this is true, then I like the fact that Mikel Arteta is being ruthless about it. There's talk that Matt Turner is going to go to Nottingham Forest. So that's kind of side with all of this. And I look at it and I think, are we going to spend 30 to 40 million on David Raya and he plays as a backup? And then on the flip side, only 8 weeks or so ago, Arsenal, gave Aaron Ramsdale a new contract. So are they going to be paying him his wage sitting on the bench? And it's always good to have two goalkeepers that are fighting for first place. But I think this is a clear sign that, Mikel Arteta is probably not happy with some of the things that Aaron Ramsdale, has been doing. And even in pre-season, I think to the Manchester United game in pre-season, and he was poor. And even his distribution, which is normally one of his strong points, was poor. And you know what? If you're going to win the Premier League and you're going to go on and compete in the Champions League and go to the latter stages and ultimately try and win it, you've got to be ruthless. You've got to have a squad that's all at the top of their game. And I think, if you look at Manchester City, for example, prime example of what Pep Guardiola done when he came in. He, went to Manchester City. Joe Hart was in goal. He was like the legend of a club. He was a great goalkeeper, but he didn't fit the style that Pep Guardiola wanted. Thank you, goodbye. And I think he brought Brava in, wasn't it, at first? And there was all this talk about him in his first season. He came in and he made mistakes and he wasn't great. And there wasn't like, okay, we'll give him another season, see how it goes. Pep was like, no, sorry, Edison comes in, bye-bye. And it was ruthless. But you need to do it, especially in a position like goalkeeper. So maybe Mikel Arteta has got the same mindset. Maybe he's thinking the same thing, which is, you've made too many mistakes for my liking. You look statistically, and Aaron Ramsdale actually made the most errors leading to goals last season, which is not a great statistic. And you're thinking as well, David Raya was one of the best statistically, and he faced a lot more shots than Aaron Ramsdale, being in the Brentford team, with all due respect to them. David Raya faced 200 shots on target, and he boasted the highest save percentage of 77%. Ramsdale faced 137 shots on target, and had a percentage of 68.84. So, all of these things, and David Raya can play with his feet. There was a game in particular when I remember with David Raya against Liverpool. I think it was the 3-3 draw with Brentford and Liverpool. And, the way that he was able to get out of Liverpool's press, or help Brentford get out of Liverpool's press. And I think that's very evident, and something that we're going to be doing this season, that, teams will start to press us now. They will try and look for those little chinks and the mistakes, and to see if they can, press us in those areas. So you've got to have that option of going long. And you need someone with pinpoint accuracy and can do that. And like I said, Aaron Ramsdale's good, and he's had a lot of that, in that respect. But yeah, it's an interesting one. If, Aaron Ramsdale doesn't buck up his ideas and David Raya comes in, then he will take his spot. I think at the start of the season, Aaron Ramsdale will be number one. Even if David Raya signs tomorrow, Aaron Ramsdale will be number one. I think this could very much be a similar scenario to Aaron Ramsdale and Bernd Leno, where Leno was number one, Ramsdale came in, Leno played the first few games, conceded a couple of goals, he came out, Ramsdale come in, the rest is history. And I think that could be the same scenario. And you never know, maybe David Raya coming in could push, Aaron Ramsdale to another level. It could make him, be a little bit more switched on, and to cut out those mistakes and the errors, etc. So it's an interesting one. It's very interesting, and I'll, wait to see what happens with this. And I'll update you in due course, no doubt. Next piece of news involves Manchester United, and there is a planned medical today for Rasmus Højlund. I think I pronounced that right. Apparently the next Haaland and everything else. And I've seen a lot of talk about this, okay? £72 million deal, give or take. Add-ons, etc. Whatever it is. It's around that kind of figure. Played in Serie A last season, scored 9 goals. I think when you're looking at him statistically with Erling Haaland, there's no comparison for me in terms of the stats and the goals. And it's a lot of money to be paying for somebody that's not really scored a lot of goals in Serie A. I think a midfielder, I can't remember, I'd see something about a midfielder from another club actually scored more goals than him last season. So, yes, a lot of money. And I know Manchester United are buying for the future because he's meant to be, like I said, the next Haaland, this generational talent apparently. But time will tell with it whether it's a waste of money or whether it's a good, a good buy before it ends up being 172 million. But yeah, apparently he's having a medical today. Some news with Liverpool, of course. Jordan Henderson has got on the Saudi bus, as we say, and he has made his move away from Liverpool. So many players going to Saudi now and playing in their league, and the money that some of them are being offered is absolutely ridiculous. And listen, at the end of the day, as a family man myself, yeah, you get that kind of money, it's going to be difficult to turn down, I'll tell you that. That's life-changing money. And I know these players are on ridiculous amounts anyway, but this is genuinely life-changing. So, yeah, Virgil van Dijk has been named as Liverpool's new captain. I think that was a pretty straightforward decision, to be honest with you. And from what I heard yesterday, Trent Alexander-Arnold is the vice-captain. And also jump into some news about Arsenal as well, which, this actually made me remember. Of course, Granit Xhaka has left and he was vice-captain. And there was talk that Gabriel was going to come in as a vice-captain for Arsenal. So keep an eye on that one. So, yeah, the other piece of news is Bayern Munich. Of course, they're still trying to sign Harry Kane. There's apparently around about £20 million difference with what Spurs want. Daniel Levy is not an easy person to negotiate with, and I can't imagine him budging on this. Harry Kane, from what you read, wants the move, wants to go and, try something different in another league, win some trophies, and then maybe come back to the Premier League in 3 or 4 years and play another couple of years and see if he can break the English records of goal scoring, etc. Who knows? We'll wait and see what happens with that one. So, yeah, listen, that's pretty much it for today's DT's Daily. We are back tomorrow, and then we will be releasing a preview to the Man City game later on in the week. Like I said, there's so much. So if you haven't already, subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell for the notifications. Because I was so inactive for so long, a lot of people have said they haven't been getting the notifications. So take off the bell and then redo it. And that's what I was told that you should do. So listen, there's so much going on, like I said. Thank you to everyone for joining. Start as we mean to go on. Let's see what the new season brings. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you lot very, very soon. I'm out of here.